Hunter Biden has pleaded guilty to all 9 charges in his federal tax evasion case, catching federal prosecutors off guard as they prepared to begin his trial. The son of U.S. President Joe Biden had previously denied allegations that he had intentionally avoided paying $1.4 million in income tax from 2016 to 2019. The 54-year-old had stated that he wanted to enter a plea where he could accept the charges while maintaining his innocence, but he then agreed to simply plead guilty after prosecutors objected. The last-minute reversal in this case was announced in a Los Angeles court as a jury selection was about to start. More than 100 potential jurors had gathered to begin the process of selecting the panel. Meanwhile, Biden's attorney, Abby Lowell, has stated that his client wanted to forego a trial for the sake of a private interest, sparing his friends and family from testifying about something that happened when he was addicted to drugs. Meanwhile, Judge Mark Skarsky has stated that in pleading guilty, Biden faces a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison and fines ranging from $500,000 to $1 million. He is due to be sentenced on 16th December, which is a month after the White House election will take place and a month before his father leaves office. 3 months ago, remember viewers, Hunter Biden was found guilty in a separate case of charges related to gun possession and drug use, becoming the first criminally convicted son of a sitting U.S. president. With me on the broadcast is my colleague Brian Anthony Thomas. Brian, a fresh twist in Hunter Biden's case. He is pled guilty at the very last minute.
Well, Priya, definitely Hunter Biden has agreed to plead guilty to tax-related charges in an effort to avoid a federal trial that was set to begin moments later. Now, after last-minute negotiations and hours of legal discussions, Biden also entered a guilty plea on 9 accounts, dodging that could have been a long and potentially humiliating trial for President Biden's son. U.S. District Judge Mark Skarsky also accepted Biden's guilty plea to all the charges, which stem from an indictment last December. Now, sentencing is scheduled for December 16, with the maximum penalty being up to 17 years in prison and a fine of $1.35 million. Now, when asked by Judge Skarsky also whether he admitted to each element of the crimes charged, definitely Hunter Biden responded affirmatively before entering his guilty plea. This development is a dramatic twist in the ongoing legal saga that has seen numerous surprises, and it has immediately raised questions about the possibility of a presidential pardon also. And despite President Biden's prior statement that he would not extend clemency to his son, prosecutors had also accused Hunter Biden of a 4-year scheme to avoid paying $1.4 million in taxes, while also spending extravagantly on luxury items including cars, clothing, escorts, drugs, and even hotels. Now, initially, Hunter Biden had pleaded not guilty to the 9-account indictment, which included 6 misdemeanor charges also for failure to pay taxes, 1 felony charge of tax evasion, and 2 felony charges of filing false tax returns. However, just before jury selection was set to begin, Hunter Biden's lawyer, Abby Lowell, announced plans to submit an Alfred plea, which would allow Biden to plead guilty without admitting to the conduct underlying the charges. And after prosecutors objected and Judge Skarsky expressed reluctance, Biden instead opted for a traditional guilty plea. And by pleading guilty, Hunter Biden avoided a trial that was expected to scrutinize his struggles with addiction and his international business dealings. And also prosecutors have also planned to present over 24 witnesses, including Biden's ex-wife and her sister as well. Yeah.
Indeed, and Brian, what's important is that campaigning is taking place for the U.S. elections. Joe Biden, of course, pulled out a couple of months back. But of course, there are murmurs going around with regards to the potential impact on the Harris-Walz campaign. The Trump faction has spared absolutely no effort in going behind the Democrats and raking up the Hunter Biden convictions. And do you think that this will now pose an another point of contention that Trump is likely to take up in the debate that is slated to be held very, very soon with Kamala Harris?
Well, definitely, Trump was very much looking for this, this very important development to happen, and definitely Trump will use it in his defense also to put forward his very statement when he will have a very important debate with Kamala Harris. But again, to the fact that Joe Biden has also rather distanced himself from Hunter Biden's tax fraudulent that happened, and even when prosecutors were also accused Hunter Biden of the 4-year scheme to avoid paying the $1.4 million taxes which he spent in luxury items also. But Joe Biden has definitely, he distanced himself from that. But definitely, this is a moment for Trump that he will definitely use as his defense in his very debate with Kamala Harris.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.